Segregation. That's how one public commenter characterized the Clark County School Board's proposal to take the ability to motion and second agenda items away from 4 new members.
8 News Now reporter James Schaefer joining us from CCSD headquarters on how the board voted on that ability. James.
Yes, city and business representatives spoke out against an agenda item that they say further limits the abilities of newly appointed members of the Board of Trustees. One public commenter characterizing the board as incapable.
Proposed changes to Governance Policy 4.2 that would allow only voting members to make motions is in clear violation of the law.
Representatives from multiple local mayor offices and retail and commercial associations in attendance against Agenda Item 2.26, an amendment of the CCSD Board of Trustees Governance Policy, which in part limits the ability of the 4 brand new non-voting trustees, making it so they cannot second motions and cannot themselves motion.
I think for the chair perspective, we're disappointed.
Paul Maricon, Senior Vice President of Government Affairs for the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce, says this item limits representation for the community as a whole.
Our intent was to add additional voices and expertise to the school board. We heard from our local governments and community members that they want their voice heard in the school board.
It has become increasingly clear that this board remains incapable of being able to address those solutions.
Brian Wachter, Senior Vice President of the Retail Association of Nevada, also speaking out against the item, saying it's education in this board's interests that remain a challenge for the community.
I'm not sure that the trust exists for the business community or anybody to say that they're comfortable just understanding that their intent of the school board isn't to make sure that these voices aren't as active participants as the rest of them.
To pull item 2.26 from the consent agenda.
Before the vote, Trustee Linda Cavazos making an attempt to take the item out of the consent agenda so it could be discussed by members. Board of Trustee President Morales denying that motion.
Thank you for that request, Trustee Cavazos. At this time, I will not entertain a motion.
Leading to it eventually being approved in a 5-2 vote.
Thank you.
Now, with that vote, those 4 members further limited in their abilities to make decisions, second and motion things in those meetings. Now, prior to the vote, the Vegas Chamber of Commerce released a statement in opposition to that item, saying in part, silencing the voices of the appointed school trustees will not enhance student success and achievement, and it will do a disservice to 300,000 students. Reporting live from outside CCSD Administrative Building, James Schaefer, 8 News Now.
Now, the Board of Trustees at that same meeting also talked about an item on the new negotiation agreement between CCSD and the teachers union, approving that new agreement.